You know, life has its ups and downs. Turn your pretty face to an ugly frown. Seems that when I fix one thing.
Hello, welcome to The Awakening. I'm your host, Angela Brown. Today's topic for discussion would be talking about the Red Hat Society, but in the meantime, I have an exciting lady sitting across from me. She noticed me when I was up in Watkins Park. We go to the same nail shop, Fancy Nails, and she says, I know you, I see you on TV. So I said, how would you like to come on TV with me? She gave me a card, and so the rest is history. I want to introduce all of you to Sadie Malvo.
Thank you.
Hello, it's so good to see
how are
you. You look gorgeous.
Thank you.
You look beautiful. Now, we're not going to touch right away on the Red Hat Society because I want to first find out about you.
Okay.
Where did you attend School of Higher Learning?
I went to school at Southern University in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Oh, I love Louisiana.
And that was several years ago.
About 10. 10 years.
About several years ago. That's
That's
all
a
I'll
good
say.
school.
That's
That's
all
a
I'll
good
say.
school.
Yes, it is a good school.
And you went all through school, I presume.
Yes.
Graduated?
Yes.
Good girl, good girl. What would you say to the young girls out there today, Sadie, who are dating at 10, 12, 13, 14 years old?
I would say ridiculous. Really.
Right,
I
right.
mean, it really wouldn't be in my thought to have any child do that even, you know, and certainly not my grandchild even, but she's a little older.
Yeah.
But what I'd say about children that age, they're just still babies really when you
They
think
really
about
are. They're
it.
not, they don't
They're
really know
just,
that
they don't
much.
even know what's happening in the world.
Exactly.
They need to learn about what the children should do would be to learn about themselves first.
Yes.
Before they can go out there trying to meet other people and learn about other people.
Exactly.
And they really need to really know self before that.
That's true. That's true. Like we were talking, my audience, right before the show started, we were talking about girls getting so young and getting pregnant. So this is, we're going to go this way for
Yes,
a few minutes.
yes.
Because I've worked with a lot of girls. I lost a young son to murder.
Yes.
And I went into the prisons to find out why people kill. And every prison I went to, I found a person with a little bit of me in each one of them.
Oh my goodness.
Growing up in a home where there was
Yeah.
domestic abuse,
Yeah, right.
alcoholism, and you live what you see.
That is so
but then
true.
we can break it. But wouldn't you say a young girl today, no matter how much strife and things she's under, please go to school?
Please go to school, and it's very important.
Yes. Why is it
Yes.
important, Sadie? Let's tell them
Well,
why.
I think it's important to go to school because you're going to have to have a job one day. Plus, you're going to have to know a lot of things before you even get out there and get on the job. So the main thing I think to do is to, like I said, about learning yourself first,
Yeah,
and
find
then
out who you
learning
are.
having enough education too. To be able to go out there in the street and do what you have to do.
What did your parents instill in you to give you all your fine qualities?
My parents were such wonderful people. My dad always, he sort of pushed you all the time almost, you know. Even if you didn't go to church, he would make you go.
Oh,
That kind of
yes.
thing. And which is good. I think it's good to really push your children to do that.
I think so too.
Because you should know God, I think, before you know anything else too.
Exactly.
Really.
Yeah.
You really should.
Like I said, growing up in the stuff that I grew up in, my mother talked to me about God all the time.
Yes,
And she read the
yes.
Bible to me.
I know.
And every Sunday morning, 9 a.m., I'm in church.
Yeah,
If you're not
exactly.
there, the nuns who you go to school with, they're watching you,
They're
and you're going to
watching
get the
you.
knuckles on Monday morning.
That's right. That's right.
But you're right. If you have God in your heart, you have got a strength of power.
That's right. That's the strength right there.
Yeah, it's all powerful.
I try to tell my grandchild that, and I'm sure she understands it. I'm sure she
Yes,
understands
she
because she
does.
came up in the church,
Oh,
so
good.
she knows all about it.
Okay, after you finished high school, you went to college. After college, what did you do?
Well, I came to this area.
Right after school?
Oh yes, just about. It was
Oh.
about 2 years, I think it was.
So
before
your
I came here.
aspirations after college was to leave Louisiana and come to
Well,
Maryland?
not necessarily. I think they had jobs there then. They had jobs where they were far and few. So I mean, they had teaching jobs, and this is more or less my aspiration was to
Teach?
start learning how to teach. And in fact, I had already been to school, so that's what I wanted to do.
To be a teacher.
Yeah, but then the other thing is that you came over here and you got a little problem here, because particularly in the time that I came here, there were a lot of archaic ideas in the school system. I hate to say that because it's like
Please-
talking
please
about them,
say
but
it.
it's true.
Yes,
It
go
really
ahead.
is true. One thing was, I think what they said was, you could not teach if you, let's say, was going to have a child or something. So you really would have to, stop teaching
Right.
and wait until you were not pregnant anymore.
Oh.
But that's what happened to me at the beginning, because we were trying to, start to raising our family.
So you were married then, but
Oh, I was
you-
married. I was married then,
and
yeah.
you left
Mhm.
Louisiana and came here.
Came here.
Okay.
Yep.
I thought maybe when you were talking like that, maybe they're playing the race card or something, because I'm so sick
No.
of hearing about that.
I don't think it was that way. I think it was just that way in the school system,
Really?
particularly in the D.C. area.
So in the school
I
system-
didn't start in the Maryland area.
So
it
in
was
the
just
school
in
system, if
D.C.
you were planning to have children, they didn't want you to get a job?
Well, I think what it was against the rule, I think, at the time when we were in the system,
Yes.
that because I was really subbing at the time, I think, and then I
I've
tried
done
to get
substitute
in.
teaching and I loved it.
I did, yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
But it just took so long to really get straight into the system. So I didn't feel like waiting that long. So I went into the government. I really went into the government.
Okay. What did you do in the government?
Oh, I was at let's see now. I was at the first job, I think, was the housing department. Went to that first.
Okay.
And then I decided, these were some thoughts in my mind about changing different departments.
You
Going to
making the
different
changes
departments. Yeah, I was
yourself.
making it myself because I didn't necessarily want to stay in one department for over a long period of
Right.
time. So I decided to go to the Department of Commerce. There were new jobs there.
Yes.
And so I got into a new program and stayed there for a while. Then after that, I decided to go to, there were jobs at OMB, Office of Management and Budget.
Okay.
So I decided to go there. That was not too far away from the Department of Commerce. So when I went there, this was like, I guess it was something like about I stayed in there 9 years.
You did.
But I was ready to retire by then.
Like,
After these
and when
three
did you-
jobs,
when did
after
you-
these three jobs,
jobs,
I
you could
decided to
retire.
retire.
You were very young then.
But
when you
I did
retired.
get out on early out. They call
Early
it.
out? Okay. What about children? Did you have children along the
I
way?
had, yes.
Oh, how
All my
many do you
children-
have?
I think I have 4 children.
You have 4 children?
2 boys, 2 girls.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
And what do your boys do?
One of my children he's working at the prison library.
And
right
Jessup,
now.
I think you
Jessup,
said,
yeah, I
because
told
I
you
worked
that,
with the
think.
women at Jessup.
Yeah, because he used to be in Columbia. He was in Columbia at first. He just got the job. It's a new job for him.
Really?
Yeah, and my other son is in California.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Does he like that heat all the time, though?
Oh, well, it's not really that hot.
Whereabouts is he?
He's in northern
Okay,
area.
okay, I think about LA.
San Francisco.
Okay,
San
so I've been to
Francisco.
San
So that's
Francisco.
not. I mean, it's a changing climate over there. You know, sometimes cool, sometimes warm.
Exactly.
So you could see that.
What are some of the outreach programs that you've become involved with?
Oh my goodness, there were so many of them.
Well, you picked the ones that you think that you did the most good. I'm sure you did good everywhere you went.
Well, I think every one of them were the outreach programs that I decided to do they really came from the church, working in the church and learning things from the church that
Right.
you know they that came out of that, you know. So let me see now. One ministry I think was the Good Samaritans in the church.
That's good. I've heard about that.
The Good Samaritans is a group of women in the church that got together, and this has been, I think it's about, right now it's probably 12 years that we started out.
Oh.
And what we did was, and my daughters got in that, my 2 daughters got into that
That's
because
good.
they thought that this was something that they wouldn't mind doing. So they got right into the group. We worked with the something called the Project Warmth.
I've heard about that.
And that was at Christmas time. We
That's
would
the
come
homeless,
out.
I'm sure.
Yeah, we would. Well, and then we had schools. We also had 2 schools that we worked with. That we brought clothing to them, and all type of clothing. And I think it was around Christmas time. I believe it was 2 schools we brought it to. And